Hey, what it do with the business is.
It is another week in the books with the On Deck TV show. AB, what up?
Man, holla at your boy Animal Brown, Animal_Brown if you're looking for me on socials.
Absolutely. And I am Spike Lou on those same social sites, not including Spill. Yeah, actually, I do have a Spill profile now. So
I don't
just in
believe that.
case, just in case the tweets die down, I use a little promo code they dropped in the group chat for y'all to get it. So it's got in there. Definitely got in there. How your week been, AB?
I can't call it, man. Celebrating the fourth by not doing shit.
Definitely not celebrating the fourth. Okay, you got to reframe that. Niggas can't say that nowadays. You can't say celebrate. You can't say that no more, Ray. Yeah, like nah, I'm off. I'm off today. I was chilling with the fam. It just happened to be the 4th of July.
Happy
Happy
off day.
Juneteenth, though.
Right. Nah, I ain't doing
You
shit
got to
anyway.
say all of that now.
Y'all can have the fireworks. I ain't never been a firework person. Y'all can have that. It's not my thing, but y'all enjoy.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, once we got that Juneteenth verified, we was pretty good. This is just an off day now.
That's a
Get to
fact.
chill, replug the battery, and you good. So y'all enjoy your off days out there, man. What else you had up?
Shout out to the golf
Anything?
course though, man. I had to, show you a couple things on the links.
Show me a couple.
Absolutely.
I'm
I had a good
I'm
time,
glad I'm
man.
getting you into it. It's fun, ain't it?
Nah, it's super
Especially
fun,
when
man. It
you,
was hot in the
yeah,
motherfucker.
hot, hot. Got to get out there early, and when you out there with good company too, man. Shout out our guy, Vince from the Wild Black Podcast, man. We got to chop it up with him. I don't got us a quick 9 in, and another random dude. Shout out to him too, man. He was a cool guy.
Yeah, my
He
guy.
was
I
cool.
forgot his name, man. I'm
Brian,
terrible with
Brian,
names. Forgive
Brian,
me.
Brian was his name.
Brian,
Absolutely,
what's
man.
up, bro?
He
He was
listening.
cool as
Yeah,
a
he said he was
motherfucker.
gonna listen. Absolutely, man. But that was fun, man. Hopefully we get to get out there more, get into this. But we know why you guys are here. It's a brand new episode of the On Deck TV show, man. We're going over everything that happened over the week, including Coi Leray's disappointing first week sales. Casanova got some time, and Tax Tone did, man. Also, we're going to follow up with the complex. Well, excuse me, we're going to follow up with the complex rank hip hop cities. And we talked about the top 10 groups that Billboard released and see if they got it right. AB, let's get right into that. We didn't talk about it last week. I think they did it wasn't the number one. We just didn't get to it by the time that we recorded. But it was a pretty interesting topic of conversation when we did bring it up a couple of weeks ago, and that is the Billboard duos, groups of all time list, top 10 drop. AB, did they get it right?
Well, we both assumed that Outkast would be number one, and that's who is number one. So we're going to go ahead and say, I'm going to go ahead and say that they did get that right. I'm not surprised at all. However you want to go, skills, you want to go catalog, you want to go sales. Outkast got all three of those checked off top. Influence, what do you want to do? Impact, check. They check all the boxes, and they're the only group, in my opinion, that checks all of those. They had Wu-Tang at number 2, and they had NWA at number 3. No surprises here. Tribe Called Quest 4 and Run DMC to round out the top 5. We called Run DMC, we called Wu-Tang, and we called Outkast. We may have called NWA too. So actually, this is relatively accurate. Real quick, just to round out the top 10, 6 was Public Enemy. 7 was Eric B. and Rakim. 8 was Salt and Pepper. 9 was De La Soul. And 10 was The Roots.
Mm.
I mean, I'm from Tennessee. I could argue 3-6 need to be a little bit higher. I'm a fan of 8 Ball and MJG and UGK. I can always throw my bias in there and wish they were a little bit higher. But I understand most of these. I think Bone and 3-6 were the two lowest. 3-6 was at 18 and Bone was at 21. I could see either one of those moving up a little bit more just due to their impact and how rap sounds today. No one, with all due respect to Cypress Hill, who is above both of them, no one's trying to rap like Cypress Hill right now. So that would be my or the Beastie Boys. So I would have made that tweak, but out of that, the top 20 is respectable in my opinion.
It's not bad. You're right, especially when you get down to 3, 2, 1, and 5.
For sure.
I can't rock with 4. I ain't even gonna hold you. Like I missed that era, but I guess that's right. I would have moved I ain't even gonna hold you, and I'm surprised that you didn't say this. I would have moved Migos up some.
Where they at?
They at 11.
Ooh.
I could see like just the impact that those dudes have had since we talking about Fight Night to Bad and Bougie to now. Like they one of the top 10 groups all time. So
they got hits.
I would hits.
A lot of them.
It ain't too many people that want to see them on this stage.
Yeah.
My personal bias is like you said, I would have put UGK in the top 5. I think that they were severely UGK and A Ball and MJG. But again, that's probably just me being more of a Southern.
Probably.
I don't even know why Mobb Deep is on this list.
That's funny as fuck. Diplomats 24.
Diplomats 24. Hot Boys 25 is a good one. The Fugees at 14. Mobb Deep is 13. I don't know. I would have put them around 30. But yeah, overall, like you were saying, this is a good list, especially with they got number 1 right. I don't think that you could argue Outkast. You couldn't argue if it was NWA. You couldn't argue if it was Run DMC. As long as it was one of those 3 in the number 1 spot, I feel like that you were good. I'm glad that Outkast got it because, of course, the South got something to say. My biggest takeaway, again, not even being that big of a Migos fan, just what they have done for the game. And you talk about how music sounds right now. And before they came around, of course, they were heavily influenced by 3-6 with that flow. But the impact, man, it ain't been a lot of groups like the Migos, man. So I would have had them a lot higher, maybe even cracking my top 5.
I'm not mad at that. They have a thing called the Migos flow that the whole rap game raps with now. Again, we know where that originated from, but that was over 30 years ago. So, nigga, they the new version of that. I thought it was interesting. Big Timers was number 38. 8 Ball MJG was 37. Okay. I mean, Goody Mob 33. 2 Live Crew 32. I'm surprised they weren't a little bit higher. Clips was 30. So look, you can argue back and forth about some of these in the mid 20s, and then whichever one you grew up on or lean more toward, you'd probably have slightly higher than some other ones. But I mean, I got like Hot Boys. Well, they had hits and stuff too. Hot Boys had 2 albums, but their impact was huge.
Facts. It was surprising. I ain't gonna lie. We talked about this. I thought D12 was gonna crack in there somewhere.
That's just a good point,
them, bro. I thought they was, but I'm glad Billboard held their ground.
That's
I'm sure it was somebody in that office pushing for that.
Diplomats was higher than I expected. They got 1 album. That's good. It's a double album, and it's a classic.
Impact was crazy though. That impact was insane.
Over Hot Boys.
Equivalent.
Okay. Yeah, I mean they right behind each other.
I can't do it. Yeah, I would say they right. They right by each other. I would say that.
Okay.
Because I was gonna say that the Dipset ain't got no bling bling and nothing like that, but they got nigga Dipset anthem, old boy. Like
they got some shit though.
Yeah, so yeah, that'd be a good little versus match right there. Yeah, somebody got to put me on Tribe, man. Like somebody got to tell me what to look for, or what to listen to, because I don't get it. I don't really. You fuck with Q-Tip?
No, but for people that do, they got at least 2 classics though. Like people that are into them, they will tell you that for sure. Jeez. It didn't cross my radar, but nah, niggas, people who listen to them will tell you they have 2 classics at least.
Their last album came out in '93, so of course we missed them.
Yeah, really?
Yes, it says Tribe came out the gate with 3 classics: 1990 People's Instinctive Travels and Paths of Rhythm. 91's The Low End Theory is what I've heard of. I heard of Low End Theory.
Yeah, and Midnight Marauders.
3 was Midnight Marauders. So yeah, I would have missed that.
Nah, Beats, Rhymes, and Life came out in '96.
Oh,
they've got more albums for sure.
Got it.
But yeah, those are the ones. Low End Theory, Midnight Marauders. Those are the ones that I always hear of.
Got it. Have you ever listened to either one of them?
Just not my cup of tea. That's it.
Yeah.
Next up, man, Complex. Another ranking. It's 50 years of hip hop, man. So a lot of people are doing the list and whatnot. It's a great time to debate it. Complex ranked the top 10 hip hop cities. Shout out to our hip hop hotbeds series that we did a couple years ago. Complex, y'all late as fuck. Yes. But it's all good. I'll give you the top 3, man, before we discuss the top 10. Number 1 was Atlanta. Shocker. Mm-hmm. Number 2 was New York City. Number 3 was Chicago. I'll give you 4 and 5. 4 was LA, and 5 was Memphis. Do you think they got it right with this top 10 cities list?
No. Atlanta could be number one. I'll give them that, but Memphis got to be number two. We've talked about it here before. I don't. I just don't. New York got too many one-offs. I don't really feel like they got a sound or like a culture per se. And then when you're looking at the most dominant artists right now that they're listing, they still got Hove and Nas,
Well, Nas
ASAP
putting out
Rocky.
music
Like
though.
that's fair, but I wouldn't call him a representation of New York now. I would say that Nas is more contemporary rap than he is New York rapper now. Like I feel like before earlier Nas, it was more geared. It's New York niggas and New York niggas listening to it. Of course, he was a nationwide artist. I know plenty of people loved him, but he was New York centric. Now I feel like he's 40-year-old centric. Like I'm talking to every nigga this age versus every nigga from New York this age, if that makes sense. But I could see, like you said, he is still putting out music, so I could see him now. But I just don't like New York being that high. I would prefer Memphis be a little further up. I think that they have more. They bring it more to the table right now.
Yeah, I could see that. Memphis is definitely. I was kind of surprised to see them at 5. To round it out, Miami was 6, Houston was 7, 8 was London, 9 was Detroit, and 10 was Philly. So, okay, with New York, there and this is it's hot right now, right? So
Okay.
maybe it is one-offs. I don't think anybody's walking around saying that Scarlett has a classic album, but she has a hot record though. Ice Spice has a hot song. Nicki is Nicki and Cardi is Cardi. So those are some big dogs in terms of being hot as we're speaking. If we're being honest.
That's true. I don't disagree with that, but my hang up with that is like even you just named 4 hot ass artists. I feel like this may just be a generational thing. When you thought about people as rappers, when we were coming up, you thought about where they were from first. When you named those ladies, I thought about them claiming, hey, I'm out here representing for all the chicks versus New York.
Scarlett ain't representing New York?
Yeah, shit. I mean, but I feel like that she just the roughneck from everywhere now. But yeah, she do sound like New York, so
that's that.
I could give you that one. But I just
fuck
feel
I look like tell a nigga good morning. That's a funny ass line, though. Wake the fuck up.
Hey, how does saying that at like that age? That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that's funny.
It's like a lady. Right. No, but I just assimilate them more so. I think with female rappers or lady rappers or female MCs more so than I associate them with being New York acts. But I do see what you're saying. The influence is there heavy. Cardi, especially she's New York. Scarlett, Ice Spice.
They got a drill sound that helps. That helps.
They do have the drill sound. That helps a lot.
Because they went years without
a sound. I don't even know nothing about that. That's a lot of very popular drill niggas from New York that I ain't on my radar at all. Detroit could have been a little bit higher for me. I love the Detroit sound. I think one of the strengths of of Detroit, more so than anybody on this list, is just so many different variations of a representation of that city. You got a nigga like Royce, and you got a nigga like Bankroll. Shit, you got Eminem, then you got Boldy James, you got a 42 Doug, and you got a Peasy. Yep. What's the other nigga name? The crazy nigga, Perk 30 nigga. You got Vezo. Like all of those are like different. Those are different type of artists. Still having that Detroit sound, and even got the lady representation with Cash Doll, and the other I can't think of the one that be rapping her ass off. But I mean Detroit is strong to me. It's one of my favorite rap cities still.
I think I'm gonna tell you what I thought was interesting, or kind of what holds Memphis back just a little bit. Mm-hmm. I think if you look at, they've got rising stars. They've got most dominant artists right now: Glorilla, Moneybagg Yo, Yo Gotti, Black Youngster, Key Glock, and Ellie Chopper. 5 of them are on the same label. Like there's no, which you could argue. I'm not gonna say they sound the same, but they have a very similar aesthetic. What you just gave Detroit props for. Big Sean don't sound shit like Peasy, dude. Peasy don't sound shit like 42 Doug. 42 Doug don't sound shit like Sada Baby. That is the only thing, in my opinion, that's hurting Memphis just a little bit, is that all the top acts are on the same label and they're very similar. They're related. You could argue that. Now, when you look at some of the rising stars they got right here, Duke Deuce has a certain sound. It's Memphis, but it's a certain sound. You got Gloss Up, Big Bug, who we'll talk about later. And you got Finesse, but you could argue Finesse low-key sound like Moneybagg. Not like trying to or not like biting, but they're clearly from the same place. Like it's not no mistake about it. So that if there was something that was hurting them, and they lost a star in Dolph, that also hurt. So that's the only thing, in my opinion, that's holding them back ever so slightly behind LA, Chicago, New York, and Atlanta. I'm not mad at this list. I think it's relatively, it's pretty accurate.
Key Glock came from Memphis.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, for sure.
They disrespectful as hell not putting him on here.
He on there. He right there next to most dominant artists. He on there.
Oh, okay. I see him right there. He blending in right there. Okay.
They got him in there, but he don't get out much though. You don't hear Key Glock on other people's shit.
Not now. Nah, it's just he primarily stick with Dolph. Unless it's some pop shit. Do you blame Yo Gotti for that? Like he playing it smart. It ain't what do they call it? It ain't monopolizing the market.
He's playing it smart. You're hot in my city. I'm going to sign you first.
It was a nigga that came out complaining about that too. Like one of the indie label types from Memphis, like saying Yo Gotti was kind of overeating, not letting nobody else eat. But I mean, I'm a big dog, nigga. You got to catch up. Weight so I see both parts of it. So I unless he is overly going out of his way, make it hard for somebody else, or you just can't compete with me. You can't compete with me.
That's what, not me. At one point, CMG was an indie like that. Like at one point, they had nobody. Exactly.
That's on you, not me, my nigga. You get your weight up.
Yeah, like hey.
I can't think of that, but it was an article I read where the guy was talking about it. I don't know his name or anything like that.
Dude, your boy over in Houston over Megan Thee Stallion shit said the same thing about Rock Nation though.
1501.
Said they come in and Debo their way, and it's like I can't keep up. Like,
but see, he just getting too much flack for not paying. Like the other chick that came out now and said that she ain't getting paid. And Carl Crawford got it. Yeah, she finna leave now. Talking about she said they owe her money.
Damn.
What's her name?
I don't know.
Whoever that was that they replaced Meg with, I can't something Davis, I think. But she's now come out and saying that, she ain't getting her money for 1501 either. So they gotta step it up. Something need to happen.
LA,
maybe he's taking the baby route.
It's tough with the LA list on here too, because the West Coast, Cali is so spread out. So you can't put a nigga like Larry June right there because he's not technically from LA. You know what I'm saying? He West Coast.
Yeah, he West Coast.
If they would have said West Coast, then they'd be much higher on this list. Like
combined everybody.
Yeah, if you combine everybody, they'd be like 2.
You would have had all of that. Yeah.
Oh, you include the Bay nigga, because then that's Simba. That's all. Like they would have been much higher on here.
You got a lot of niggas that So that makes sense. Damn, I'm looking.
But that's a solid list though. I ain't mad at it.
It's a nigga that named Hard Boy Pig that was signing 1501. Said it was like signing with the devil.
What the fuck is that?
Some nigga from Houston. I'm looking for the chick's name, man. It just came out. I can't find it. Y'all know who I'm talking about, man. She was just on the red carpet talking with her boyfriend and shit. May went viral. Yeah.
On BET Wars?
Mm-hmm. The bitch that had she wearing the little wig shit right by her eyebrows. You'll know exactly who I'm talking about once I figure out.
Is it Freaky T? You talking about her? Tiara or something?
No, it's like
I don't know who you made up a gal then.
She on 1501. I just don't want to pull up their artists. Whatchamacallit, But moving on, just recently, yo girl, booty hole brown sexy red.
Jesus Christ.
She walked off stage, man. She's doing the coming up artist circuit, AB, doing the clubs and things like that. And she's getting stuff thrown at her. And she stopped mid-performance and said, hey, man, I ain't going for this shit. And on top of that, she has a man that throws money at her during the performance as well, in addition to the other items. So she stopped the show and was like, y'all got me fucked up. Fair or foul is what to be expected to a new artist.
This is foul. These are two separate situations. People are revolting against Sexy Red. A lot of people look at that song that she has out right now as kind of the worst part. I don't want to say it's the worst part of hip hop, but people are looking. She's being used as the example of what's negative about hip hop. The same way Soulja Boy was when he first came out. The same way Lil Yachty was when mumble rap became a thing. Like you become the face of what's wrong with something, and she's just the new face of that. I feel like they're setting her up for failure though, because even when you look at, she had a video where she was in like the little one room with the microphone and performing her song like a cappella and shit. That's not an a cappella song. My pussy's pink and my booty hole's brown is not a Rap City the Booth.
Wait, what was that? What was that on? Was she in a club?
It was one of them.
It was like some promotion.
No, it was just one of them interviews where they stand in the booth and they got the little mic and they perform their little song. Gotcha. Yeah, it's just one of them. Hey, that's not that type of song. It's not. Like, that's one that you play at Magic City with, you know what I'm saying, strippers falling from the sky. You don't play this in an acapella, nigga, like it's Illmatic, like it's one mic. Like that's setting her up for failure. That's why she's getting the response that she's getting. But I'm never a fan of throwing stuff at people on stage. That to me, that's super whack. If y'all want to boo, then maybe that's a thing. But like, don't throw nothing at nobody. That's corny to me. Don't pay money to go see somebody just to throw something at them. That's lame. But I do understand the backlash and why people are kind of revolting, because she's becoming the face of what's whack in hip hop. Fair or foul.
When you say what's whack, what do you mean?
Like, just like what people don't like about hip hop. Like that her song is very elementary. It's very ABC 1, 2, 3, and people look at it like, man, if you don't get this basic ass shit people out of here.
Nah, some people want to hear it. I think people front.
No, some people don't want to hear it though.
Okay. When you say setting her up for failure, are you talking about like, well, do you think that people would actually pay their money, promoters, club patrons, to go there to show distaste? Like, to be like, I'm gonna spend my $50 to get in, go VIP, to let this bitch know I don't like her. You think that's happening?
People have paid to do dumber shit. People were planning to go out to whatever club that was, and she just happened to be.
Yeah, like, oh, she there?
Man, I'm finna, hey man, when she go on stage, that guy, she don't get that bullshit off. I'm gonna throw some shit. Like, dead ass.
I think she's a little bit bigger than that, man. I think that she bringing crowds out. I think that she's getting booked and people want to see her. And it might be some haters in the building, but I do think, like, I think the promoters and people like are excited to hear that song just because people love trendy, viral shit now. Mm-hmm. Now, on the other end, what I would say is it's not necessarily why she's receiving the backlash, but you also got to know how to move. One thing I'll credit Ice Spice's team with is she's been moving brilliantly. Facts. And I bring that up because you said of the acapella thing. I haven't seen it, but she should know, or her team should know, like, this ain't the place for that. Like, this is a fun record. Like, so yeah, I agree with you. Someone is advising her wrong.
Yep.
Or she's chasing way too much fame way too quickly, and people are responding to that. They're not responding to how bullshit the song is. It's just, oh, you was right here like doing this shit in front of Bobby Jones, and you was right here doing the acapella shit knowing it's not an acapella song. I can see how that would irritate some people. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I get that.
If I don't need her on Genius doing a video on Genius breaking down the lyrics to Pound Town. It's not that type of song, dude. Like, we don't need
exactly.
You know, there's no 100%. Need, and every song doesn't have to be that. That's the thing. It's okay, right? But don't set somebody up. You're setting somebody up for failure, dude. Who is your team? Who is your management? Who is your handlers? Like, don't do that, man. That song is not a complicated song. It's a fun song that people can get hyped to when they drunk. I understand. I didn't think her dancing at the BET Awards was an issue, in my opinion. Number one, her song came on during an intermission. It wasn't on TV. This wasn't televised. This was during an intermission, and people happened to be filming it while she was doing it. Who knows when the next time she'll be invited to a BET Award song, to a BET Awards, if ever again. You may never get a chance to go back, dude. So make the most of the one time that you're there as if you're never going to go back. So that didn't bother me. And people, we laughed at Bobby Jones and all that. But that's what I like about the BET Awards, is that Bobby Jones and Sexy Red can be in the same building, and you can celebrate that's kind of the spectrum of black people that we have. I don't see the problem with that. Like, people acted like that shit was televised and they made a whole segment out of her booty hole being brown. Like, no, dude. That was during an intermission, dude. Like, come on, y'all. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I agree. But I do see where people are revolting, like you said, against the whole attitude that she has. Like, it's more so like,
People are turning on her, dude. People not throwing shit at everybody, dog. This doesn't happen that often. Like every blue moon, somebody at a Wayne show with those, like for some weird ass, but like, man, for the most part, that shit doesn't happen. So for her to happen twice in the same week, that's the people responding to what she got going on. And I hate that. I don't like that shit whack. Man, moving along, man, we got some updates on some court cases that have been brewing for what seems like forever and a day. Casanova was locked up in 2020 on a RICO case. He has finally been sentenced. He got 15 years. I dead ass thought he had been in jail for like 10 years at this point. It's only been like 3, which is nuts. Tax Stone, popular podcaster, of course, got into the altercation with yo man Troy Ave, who was supposed to bring New York back. That didn't go as planned. Tax Stone ended up getting a Kevin Durant jersey number with 35 years, which is nuts. What's more surprising, though, the high number that Tax got or the quote-unquote only 15 that Casanova got, considering he was facing 50?
I was kind of surprised at the Tax shit more than the Casanova shit. With Cas, we spoke about it here. I think that he kind of tried to absolve himself as much of it as he could, and he paid the repercussions for it. But I do feel like it got him down to 15 because he was facing 50. So maybe it was worth it. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. Can't speak to that. But Tax getting 35, from what I understood of the situation, which I still don't know if I got right, but him getting 35 was more surprising to me. I thought he was going to get out. I thought he was going to walk. I thought that
Troy,
because Troy Ave approached him, because he was kind of the aggressor, and this just so happened to happen, that he was going to have a better defense. But that was not it. And maybe because of his jacket and the previous priors that he had, this is where he at with it as far as him giving him 35. But I was surprised by that. I was definitely surprised by Tex not being, it's going to be a long time.
Yeah, that's a fullback number. I was kind of surprised at that too. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna say Tax. I didn't see 35 coming, even though someone did die in that situation. So I'm not surprised he got more. But it's kind of like this to me. People, this more attention needs to be shined upon that, because it's a cautionary tale. This is 100%, in my opinion, when keeping it real goes wrong. I think that Tex had a record. So Tex had a record already, which is number one. Number two, when you got guns in New York City, we all know how that goes. And you got them in a public venue where you're really not supposed to have it. That's a whole nother level. So he was hit on 3 different levels with this shit. But just a refresher for those that don't remember, Tex single-handedly picked out Troy Ave because allegedly they're supposed to be from the same area. Tex was like, bro, I ain't never heard of this dude. Troy Ave was bubbling, making noise, and Tex made it his business to...
You embellishing a little bit. It was some back and forth. It wasn't, I'm picking on this nigga.
No, he was picking on
him. Ave, yeah. Nah, he don't do that.
He said he wasn't from there, and no one asked him. Nobody asked him that. Nobody said, hey, Tex, hey, Troy Ave, is he from your area? Nobody asked him that, bro. That's not how it went. Though.
That's how it goes, though. Like this
is how this goes.
You know that's gonna...
When you bully somebody, nigga, you could be in position to get fucked in the end. This is why you mind your own business. This is why, right here.
If Tex had mind his own business, he'd still be doing podcasts.
He'd be up right now. He'd have one of the hottest podcasts, and he'd be eating the fruits of that labor that Nori and Joe Budden have ran with.
Yeah, that's true.
Why they minding their own business. Hey,
damn,
leave motherfuckers alone, man. That nigga thought Trav was sweet because he had been talking shit about him this whole time. He ran into him, and nigga, he the one that ended up getting his gun took. And dude, you can't just... a lot of people ain't going for that bully shit, dude. Like, you can think niggas are sweet. They from your hood. They're not. Man, look how this shit ended, dog. If you could go back, nigga, he never would have said that shit. I guarantee it.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I don't know if it was straight bullying, as you saying though. Troy Ave had a little bit of instigating in it too. Like, he had something to do with it, I think.
He leaned into it. He wasn't going.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, he wasn't going.
Damn, Tex, that was a good ass podcast, man. Him and that
y'all overrated it though.
Going down in history, nah.
Y'all overrated it.
You hating. He had some good ass episodes,
but
man.
you know, I've been day one with that though. I never fuck with it though.
That's true. You've been a hater
Day
since day
one.
one. I agree. I give you that. You've been a hater since the first day it came out.
Definitely ain't fuck with that shit.
All right, next man, we got yo girl Coi Leray, and the numbers came out. Unlike Killer Mike, we were able to find her numbers; they were everywhere. She did 10,000 first week, AB, and my man Boosie came out. He said, "Man, the game rigged. Man, she should have did at least 100,000," and he cited the hits that she has and how much she impacts culture. He says that the gatekeepers are keeping Coi Leray from being as prosperous as she should be in this game. One, what do you think about her disappointing sales, AB? Two, does Boosie have any type of right here when he's saying that this
Yeah, Coi Leray is
rigged?
signed to a major label. So she's signed to what people would call a gatekeeper. It is not as if she's doing this on her own. Her album flopped because it's terrible. I listened to it. It's really, really, really
That's
bad.
crazy.
And
what makes it bad?
well, to me, she's not talented. She can't rap. She can't rap. She serves no purpose. Now, I will say the song that she had out there, Players, my wife likes the song, but it's just a flip of the Busta. It's just a Busta Rhymes beat, dude. She just flipped the. That's one thing I noticed. If anybody checked this album out, and if you just want to have some fun and help boost her streams up, go check out the first 6 or 7 songs. 80% of them are samples. Literally, the first 5 songs are samples. And I was like, dog, what the fuck is it? It's unoriginal. She can't rap. She can't sing. She's not saying anything. Like, there's nothing about her that's appealing in terms of talent. Like, I have no idea how she got signed. I would say it's because she's Benzino's daughter, but nobody likes Benzino either. So that's not enough pull. You can't get no pull from him. This isn't the Source Records that she signed to. She signed to an actual label. It's TikTok music. It's shit that works in 15-second clips, but as an album, people not fucking with this, dude. Not even the demographic. I'm obviously not the demographic, but not even the demo is fucking with this because they hear enough of the song on TikTok. They don't need to hear the whole thing. This shit it's not good. I feel sorry for her. I'm sure she put a lot of hard work in. She takes it very seriously. I don't want to see anybody fall on their face like this. But, bro, she's not. The fact remains she's not talented. And I was saying this before the album. And this shit is trash. Remember her freshman class freestyle? It went viral for how bad it was. Like, she's just not talented, man. Like,
there are a lot of untalented people that are able to be successful in music.
For sure. It's possible.
To get the Boosie thing out of the way, I think this is his independence gripe against big corporation anyway. So that aligns up with what I expect him to say. I was surprised, however, when you told me that she signed to a major label because I know her from being Benzino's daughter. I don't even know the song that you're talking about. Your wife likes the 3 songs that I read that Boosie said were popular. I don't know those. Maybe if they come on and I hear them, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I do know that song. But by name, no, I don't. So if I'm signed to a major label and I've been successful on TikTok, which people feel like the algorithm is now where you need to be, then yeah, I would kind of feel slighted if I was Coi Leray because like y'all ain't doing enough to get my name out there. I feel like she does a lot of good self-promotion. The only reason that I know her, again, is because it's Benzino's daughter, the beef she had with them, her responses to that, going viral for the clip that you're talking about, is not any of the normal pathways that labels usually take to make an artist hot. The promotion that they would put into them, the marketing plans that would go into someone like Coi Leray. Like, she's a marketable person. Why don't people know who she is? I feel like a lot of people don't really associate like her with who knew she had an album coming out. Well, again, I'm not the demographic, just like you said, you're not. So maybe people were anticipating it, obviously not with the 10K sales, but they could have did a better job of marketing in that. And I feel like Boosie had framed it that way instead of saying, oh, the game is rigged, and people wouldn't feel like that he's crying wolf. But yeah, like they let her down. Whoever she signed to, whatever major label that she signed to, they let her down. I don't feel like that. There should, once you crack the code and get with the gatekeepers, 10,000 first week, that's unacceptable. Like they ought to be able to they ought to be able to buy those. Like they should buy 10,000 just to make sure that you don't have a 10,000 first week. So when I see that like something's wrong, there's a disconnect somewhere in my opinion.
I'm gonna read to you because I just pulled this up because I wanted to pull up her shit on Wikipedia. This is a review. did somebody from Pitchfork, however you feel about Pitchfork, they gave it a 4 out of 10, which is he actually being gracious.
Way too high.
It is. They said this might as well be marketed as a covers album. Roughly 75% of the album relies on painfully obvious samples, copied and pasted in with little modification. They wrote that Leray unimaginatively spins the songs by men into hashtag girl boss anthems. Leray is, when she's not deploying samples of popular songs, she's hopping on the wave of today's popular sounds. The only idea she brings to the album Coi is introducing the younger generation to the artist she samples. That's it. The album is some slaw. She's not talented, and I have no fucking idea how she has a deal. I don't know. Like when people say too many people rap, this is an example of that. And I hate for her to be the poster child for that, but it is what it is. Sweetie is exhibit B.
She's the
same thing.
Yeah.
Her shit went double wood.
Yeah, she was saying samples, remake songs too, trying to rely on that. Like
the Too Short shit.
It's already familiar and a hit. All I got to do is be pretty and like look good in the video, and it's gonna go.
And that's it. People seeing through that shit though.
Nope.
That's dead.
Nope. So what's the correlation with that and the Sexy Red shit we was talking about? Like people are seeing through. Like, do you think the fans are becoming less tolerant of this microwave gimmicky culture, or do you think it's just like those acts or those artists?
I think Sexy Red represents what a lot of black people don't want to. They want to act like doesn't exist. A lot of black people want to act like people like Sexy Red don't exist. Like don't look like out of sight, out of mind. That's what I think people want. They like, go over there with that. Don't. They think that to them it's embarrassing. It's setting us back. That's how I feel. That people think that way.
I saw a tweet that said, man, Sexy Red, you can tell she never had money. That bitch walking around with no purse and just them stacks in her hand all the time. Somebody said, bitch, get a purse.
People don't like the ghetto. To a lot of people, that's ghetto. They don't like that.
But I think people do like ghetto, but they like to know that you can cut it off. Or
okay.
Like,
that's fair.
Like I think people appreciate just enough like blackness, ghetto, whatever we're calling it. I think people appreciate it, but you need to be able to also navigate in a different room where that ain't gonna get you the best thing that you're looking for.
Yeah.
And that's why people cringe away from it, because people like, I can't act like that.
There's a limit.
Why the fuck does she get to act like that?
There's a limit. There's a large number of there's a subset of people that Sexy Red is their favorite rapper, 100%. But I'm saying there's more people who, if they're going to an establishment and there's 80% Sexy Reds in the building, they're turning around and going home. That's what I'm saying. There's more than enough of those out here, and I would argue this.
I am that person.
I am him. That's my point.
Yes.
If I go somewhere, nigga, and it's all Sexy Reds and finesse 2 times, I'm in the wrong place. Respectfully, I'm not there no more. And in college, I would have been in there kicking it. Now, I'm good. And I think there's more people who, I think and this is the gift and the curse, real quick before we move on. With more information that social media has given us that black people are up on currently, like just things like investing and things like stocks, and it's cool to be in your kids' lives now. Like you can't hide from shit like
generational curse crushing and shit.
It's generational curse crushing. When someone comes out and is a representative of what people feel are generational curses, bro, they look at that shit like, why are you still doing that? It's 2023 to a certain extent. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, some people are like that. That's true.
Right. So they don't like to be reminded that people like that exist. And I don't know.
But they do.
That's how I feel.
They out here. I see them every day in Atlanta. Well, I see them frequently in Atlanta. I won't say every day because I ain't outside like that, but frequently I see them in Atlanta.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, man. Your man's Freddie Gibbs.
Let's go.
Freddie Gibbs was online recently because Currency dropped a new song. And guess who the features are? Jim Jones and Benny the Butcher.
Yep.
You couldn't get a worse feature lineup for Freddie Gibbs. Someone went to the tweets and they said, I guess we're never getting that Betty too. And Freddie Gibbs responded and said, no, you weren't getting it anyway, because the first time we did work, Spitter didn't do any videos. He didn't do any shows. He wasn't fucking with it, so I'm not fucking with him. My question to you, AB, is this a fair stance for Freddie Gibbs to take knowing he don't need to be burning no bridges in hip hop.
Now this is fair because if I was Freddie
Whoa.
Gibbs, he was already feeling some type of way about how the Fetty project went down. How do you not do one show? How do y'all not do a tour out of that project? And you turn around.
Freddie Gibbs a monkey ass nigga. He don't want to be no. He don't want to go on tour with it.
You turn. This was pre Benny beef. This was this pre. This might have been. This was pre Jim Jones beef. So this is pre all that shit.
I was before that. Yeah, I was before that.
So you look at what Currency just did with Jermaine Dupri. They went on a world press tour, nigga, for a goddamn 5-song EP, dude. That nigga was everywhere. They did a show down here in the A. They did listening party shit. They didn't do any of that for that project. It's almost like it didn't even happen. So who knows behind the scenes of why or why not it didn't happen. But if I'm Freddie Gibbs and I have a legitimate, man, this isn't new. This isn't just because he's got features from Jim Jones. This isn't just because he's got Benny features. Nigga, you can peep the hit. They ain't show no video. Have you seen Freddie Gibbs videos? He do actual videos, dude. Currency puts out music every other day. He puts out videos with him every other day. These niggas are video making niggas, dude. So how y'all not even do one video? So the signs were already there. It just people didn't really read the tea leaves. This just put it full circle. So it is fair for him to feel this way. Although it is interesting, he might be the first rapper I've ever heard in my life say anything negative about Currency, dude. So
that's what I was about to say.
That's one thing Soulja Boy can't claim. Freddie Gibbs is the first rapper to say anything negative about Currency. I'll give him that.
And that's part of my problem. And I'm glad you stopped there and led into this. That's part of my problem with Freddie Gibbs. And I said this about the Jeezy shit. I said this about the Jim Jones shit and the Benny shit. This nigga do not know how to read the fucking room. Everything that you say is correct. Yes, that may be true. But what good is it for him to be like, fuck this nigga, man. That nigga didn't do no videos. Like, bro, nobody, like, who don't like Currency? Like, how could you beef with this nigga? All he do is smoke weed and, like, buy cars and shit. So it makes Freddie Gibbs look like even more of a dickhead based on the previous situations that we've seen him, like, be involved in with the Jeezy shit. Went back and forth with Jeezy, and then Jeezy stopped, and he was still talking. Yep. And the Jim Jones shit, he had something slick to say, then you get beat up in the restaurant. The Benny shit, like, and even with the shit with his baby mom, I just feel like that he doesn't know or realize when you should know, like, I'm just going to be quiet. I'm just going to be the rapping ass nigga Freddie Gibbs. I'm going to keep putting out these banging ass projects. Y'all going to respect me for these Grammy nominations. I ain't got to get in the mud and get petty or whatever it may be with a nigga like Currency. Because what's that going to benefit me other than all these niggas that scream Jet Life and love Currency like he the best fucking rapper ever in the world, because it's niggas out there that believe that. Now they don't fuck with me. On top of the Jim Jones niggas that don't fuck with me and the Jeezy niggas that don't fuck with me, and Freddie Gibbs may not care. That's cool, but it's not detriment. I mean, it's been very detrimental to his career, because I would rather him be the rapping ass nigga that never said nothing, and we ain't got no judgments on his characters because he ain't beef with niggas, whether it be within reason or for no reason. It really doesn't matter to me. Nigga, you're too talented to engage in these petty ass beefs every 3 months, dude. You get beat up in restaurants, bitches telling they got booty hole pictures of you. Like, bro, just go rap. Be quiet, my nigga. Move back to Gary, Indiana, and be quiet. Just rap. Put out a CD or a tape or project every 3 months. Like, take some notes from Currency. But it just goes to my overall dissatisfaction with Freddie Gibbs as an artist and as, like, just a brand. Like, bro, you don't know when to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, this is one of those situations where his resume is hurting his case because he has a legitimate case. But because of his past 3 years, you're going to look at him sideways, and as people should. So you got to be self-aware if you know that.
Nothing on his resume.
Yeah, nah, you got to know that if you him. It's not a good look. It keeps you nothing. It hurts. Listen, you hurt absolutely nothing to keep scrolling past that comment on Twitter.
I don't
scroll past it, bro.
I don't care that these niggas dropped a song. None of that shit matters to me. Brand new, whatever it is, 2 coming out next week. Like, that's it, bro.
Just keep scrolling past that tweet. You got 599 to look at before your shit pause. So, like, you got plenty more to look at before you run out of whatever the fuck was going on with Twitter, too.
And I get, too, like, I get the whole being funny shit and having a personality, like, that's cool, but you just picking the wrong battles, my nigga. Like,
I
who
agree.
beats with Currency, dude?
Yeah, that's
Come on,
weird.
bro. That's retarded.
That's weird.
All right,
That's
man.
strange. I was just I'm listening to the Blog Era podcast, and I'm on the episode where they got the Currency, and it's like, how can you not fuck with this dude?
How could you not? Even look, bro, we talked to Dame Dash, even with the shit that they went through with
Yeah,
all the like suing and whatnot. Dame Dash still didn't have nothing bad to say about Currency.
facts.
And I ain't heard Currency speak on it really. Even when
No,
somebody was like, nah, he did you wrong. I heard him on an interview or podcast or whatever it may be, like, oh, this, that, the third with Dame, and Currency, like, nah, man, it's cool.
yeah, he
Like,
took the high
I'm not
road.
even on that. Yeah, I'm not even on that, bro. Like, I got plenty of cars outside. My wife bad. I just had a child. Like,
Yeah.
that was the route that he was taking. Like, and so take notes, Freddie Gibbs.
Well, Freddie Gibbs got he ain't his gal left him. He ain't got
He left
ain't
her.
a lot of things
He
going
left her.
right now.
He
So-
ghosted her once he found out.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah,
Allegedly.
yeah, allegedly, according to her. Real quick before we get to these wins and these losses, man, rap legend, gangster rap pioneer Ice-T has a warning for young rappers. He tells them they need to get it together, man. He said, quote, he was down at the Essence Fest and he spoke about the dangers of hip hop to People magazine. He said, quote, I think people from my generation are really upset with what's going on with the youngsters because every week somebody's going to jail. He said people are dying of drugs, killing each other. He said, my generation, we lost Tupac, we lost Biggie, and we got the memo. Everybody calmed down. We all figured this shit out. We were rapping to get out of the streets. Is his warning to young rappers legitimate one?
It's fair. I'm not sure if the reference point that he made as far as we stopped when Tupac and Biggie got killed, I don't know if that's really true. I think that's just an old nigga like trying to embellish a little bit on how the past was. Because even when Tupac and Big got killed, like rap continued to get more violent. Like it didn't, there was no kumbaya moment, my nigga. So I just think that this is what it has morphed into. It just happens to be a bigger business. So you have more people and artists and camps mimicking what they think will be successful. And sometimes it is these beefs and this petty shit that they get locked up for. We've talked about Gucci Mane's 1017 label and what the issues may be with them. We've talked about Yo Gotti and getting his artists out of jail. So there are a lot of different things that are happening today that, I mean, it was still happening even when Ice-T is saying, hey, we paid attention. Ice-T has always been a little bit older. So he has a different perspective, I feel like. And that's kind of where he's speaking from as far as that uncle, that dad saying, man, y'all niggas ought to be doing this, but not really understanding, like, I mean, some of these guys, and there's no excuse for it, it's just their culture that they grew up in. Like we see the Casanova cases and we see the YSL cases. Like, I don't think that those guys are going out of their way to be like, nigga, I'm finna be a gangster. It's like they think it's okay. It's because of the culture that they grew up in. And that culture was created by niggas like Ice-T, by niggas like NWA. It just has morphed into what it looks like in 2023. Now we're older, me and you, Ice-T, like we can look at it and be like, man, y'all niggas is wild. Yeah. But it would have been a nigga our age when we was doing whatever we was doing, be like, y'all niggas is wild. Like it happens from generation to generation. So it's good that he brought it up. I'm glad that he talked about it. What I really would wish would happen from this is he talks to younger artists and is able to develop some type of rapport and kind of guide them in the direction that he thinks needs to be seen. Because I think Ice-T is a smart brother.
Yeah, I just watched Simba on Earn Your Leisure, and there was a clip where he talked about how older rappers need the younger generation need the older rappers. They need the wisdom that the older rappers got, and the older generation needs the youthfulness and the insight of what the new generation is on. They need that as well so that they can understand what's going on. I feel like people use the Biggie and Pac deaths because they were two of the biggest at the time, and they made waves where now it seems like waves are being made more often with people like Takeoff or Nipsey or XXX. But the fact remains, bro, it's a numbers game, dude. There is no XXX of 96. That motherfucker didn't exist. There wasn't one. There was no Takeoff of 96. These niggas are stupid popular. Like stupid. You know how many popular rappers are right now, bro? Like, dude, if somebody of a takeoff there's 40 rappers of takeoff status that are dumb popular that could go to Poland and sell out a festival all the way across back to New York, nigga, down to over to Cali. The internet has made the world small. The internet has also opened the gates for more rappers to be successful, for more young black men to be successful that come from a lot of these fucked up environments. And the fact of the matter is, young black men die in these fucked up environments at the exact same rate, dude. They just so happen to have made it out making music, and they suffer the same fate, unfortunately, as the people that didn't get a chance to make it out. That aspect has never changed. I just think there's more of them. The gates are open. There's more successful rappers, and there's also more rappers that are dying. You get one without the other. I don't think you can have either one exclusively. So I want people to put it in perspective. Ice-T, Biggie, and Pac, of course that made waves, nigga, because rappers weren't dying like that. But again, you had to know somebody. Nigga, you had to stand outside of fucking Def Jam offices with a boombox to get signed, nigga. If you stand there 3 weeks in a row, nigga, somebody might listen to your demo tape.
And
now I can put my shit on SoundCloud or YouTube and be a household name next week. So like it's not the same, dude. So that, unfortunately, you're gonna get a nigga from the hood that made a song in his basement that uploaded and is popular and then gets shot the next month. Like, it, trust me, had he not uploaded the song, he would have got shot the next month and you wouldn't have heard it, nigga. I wouldn't have heard it. It's just been on the local news just like it is every night in every hood in America, dude. So I want people to put that in perspective and put it in the context and don't make it seem like the sky is falling now when really the same thing is happening. Dude, the rich are getting richer now and the poor are getting poorer now, just like they was when Biggie and Pac were alive, just like they was when Ice-T was trying to rap. There's no difference. The sky is always falling, dude. Just turn on the news, dude. It's been like this since I've been born. I don't see it changing.
I think that was well said. 100%. All right, AB, we got wins and losses before we get out of here for the week. First, win or loss. Your girl, Nicki Minaj. She's offering to pay the tuition of the 14-year-old who shot the dude that hit his mom's in the face at the chicken spot. Win or loss?
That's a W. It's a W. Like, they tried to, of course, everybody's seen the story. The guy was attacking this lady for some reason. I still don't understand what the fuck was going on. The son saw it, grabbed the strap, shot the dude. He ended up dying, unfortunately, or for whatever. I don't know, but the shit is crazy. I'm not mad at Nicki wanting to take a stand because she said that people need to be protecting their families. I understand. If you see people in the clip, some people went away. They didn't want nothing to do with the situation. Who knows, had he not been shot, how far it would have went? That nigga might have been without a mom had he not had a pistol. Who knows? You don't want to see anybody getting killed. You don't want to see anybody getting fighting in a fucking chicken store. But sometimes shit happens and people do need to be protected. And Nicki decided to speak up and do something about this. I'll be honest, that's a win. I'm not mad at it.
I don't know if I'm not mad at the gesture. Yeah, she did a good thing in giving him some money, paying for his tuition. Lord knows what that little boy gonna have to go through for the rest of his life.
Facts.
With this on his mind. I'm not sure if publicly co-signing it is what I would do if I was Nicki Minaj. So I'm gonna say a loss. I would have had my team hit his people up and you would have got the money. I'm not releasing a statement. I'm not talking about protecting families because yes, that 14-year-old boy did what he had to do, and I commend him. I ain't speaking against it at all, but still somebody got killed too. And to come out and be like, well, I'm gonna pay your tuition and reward isn't the right word.
Yeah, I know.
Kind of condone what happened and be like, shit, it's what happened when like that don't speak to like what we're talking about and breaking curses and elevating, upgrading people. Like, I wish that hadn't happened either way. The nigga had hit it in the face and the nigga hadn't got shot either, and the 14-year-old boy wouldn't have had to do that. And if I was in the position that Nicki Minaj was in, I would have just hit him with that. And nobody would have never knew. Like, he would have just had a check in the mail, like, versus coming out and making my stance against it. So I'm going to put a loss.
Fair enough.
All right, next winner or loss, I got Big Boogie. He turned down $5 to $15 million scholarships to pursue his rap career.
Hey, this might be worse than the Jeezy $2 Subway meal. Bro, what $15 million scholarship before NIL? Where are they doing that at? Who getting
I was gonna
15
say,
million?
how old is this nigga? Because
Bro,
is it NIL money he talking about?
no. Who the
It
fuck is
ain't.
getting 15 million for the scholarship, dude? You LeBron? Like, there's no fucking way, dude. That's a he's
I gotta.
misremembering it, and that's okay. Again, we gave Jeezy grace. He was misremembering the subway story. This nigga is misremembering how much he was getting offered. Kudos to him for following his dream, and it worked. I mean, he signed to 1017, I believe. If not 1017, it's MMG. I can't remember which one. I mean, excuse
Oh,
me,
this
not
the young nigga that
MMG.
Gucci signed.
One of them.
I remember that.
But that
It
15
said he
million
was born
cap
in.
though.
It said he was born in '96.
Okay.
So
Oh, so
what would that
20
put him in
years,
college? Yeah, that would put him in college in what
2017.
2006, which was before NIL.
Exactly. Yeah, he wasn't finna get 15
So,
M's, bro.
so he's speaking out of turn. Like he must be speaking of under table money that Boosters was gonna be giving him that he should have never said nothing about. So this is a loss to Big Boogie. Either way, either your way that you said it that it never happened, or either the way that like you ain't supposed to never told nobody about this, my nigga. I can't believe he was that good to
His
even
little
have done
project
this.
actually straight too, though. Believe it or not.
No, I'm talking about as an
Yeah, no,
athlete. What did he play? Football or basketball?
I think it was football.
I don't believe he was that good. I promise y'all know. He
Yep.
from Louisiana, but I'm gonna take a loss. Shout out to the Big Bug though. Lastly, man, Trippy Red, he got kicked off on an American Airlines flight. And he said because he smelled like weed and the flight attendant had a problem with it. The airline is saying that it's because he was smoking weed in the bathroom.
Mm.
Is that a win or a loss?
Yeah, this is tricky, man. This is. He said, she said, my word against yours. It look why it's an L. You getting kicked off a flight. Number one,
Man,
like that's
get kicked off no flight, bro. That's my
that's
biggest
fucking
fear.
up all your plans. He probably had a bag on the other end of that flight waiting on him. Like, dude, that's an L getting kicked off a flight. He's too old for that, and he's not even old. So that's some slaw. If you want to smoke weed and hit the blunt while you're on the flight, man, just go ahead and put in on the jet. Go in with you and Lil Uzi and another one of the SoundCloud niggas you came up with, going in on the jet and nigga do all the smoking you want to do, dude. Don't try to get the smokes off on a fucking American Airlines flight, dude. You look crazy.
He claimed he left there and went on the jet. And
okay, big flex.
Yeah, he said he claims allegedly. One of the things for me too, like you said, like bro, that would be one of my biggest fears, even having something happen where you have to react to get kicked off of a flight, or someone on there wilding like the little white chick that they showed not too long ago that went viral saying that people wasn't real on the plane. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did. That was nuts. That was on some Final Destination
I would
shit.
be so mad because if something happened, I would be 100%. I wouldn't when the plane starts shaking and shit in the air. But two, I would be so mad just because that delayed me and all the other shit to go with traveling. Like when motherfuckers be like bullshit on a flight,
man,
like that's a thin line right there, buddy.
Hey man, dude, if y'all ever see me on a flight, please don't fuck that flight up, dude. Like,
Please
just go ahead and put your headphones on.
There, bro.
Let me get to wherever the hell I'm trying to go, man. Because trust me, I'm trying to be somewhere, and that is the worst shit. Somebody did that one time. They was on a flight. They weren't even supposed to be on the flight. I don't know how they got on there, dude. And they was trying to, man, the attendants were baffled how they got on here, and they were taking forever to get them off. And by that time, the whole flight is against you against the whole flight, dude.
Like, everybody's just thinking, like, man, shut up, bro. Get off. Whatever you got to do so this motherfucker will pull off, do it. Because we don't want to hear it, bro. You ain't getting no sympathy on no flight, nigga. None of that. Ain't none of that. Well, better do. Like, man, get off, nigga.
You got about 5 minutes of leeway, dude. You on the clock, nigga. After that, it's like, hey, man, handle that in the motherfucking waiting area, dog.
Hey, that's crazy. Because look, it could be some rape, man. They being rape, man, bro. I don't care if they being racist, my nigga. I don't care if they stole your money. Please get off.
That's a battle you're not gonna win, bro. You're not gonna win that.
Ever.
Just take that L, dude.
Nigga. That's funny as hell, man. That's universal too. I think everybody would agree with that. Like, bro, if I'm on this flight, like, please don't be bullshitting on here, nigga.
I can see you get done dirty. And I'll be like, hey man, just handle that off.
Yeah. Like, damn, bro, that's fucked up, man. But hey, man, the gate right there, my nigga. Like, I know it's another flight or something, bro. Yeah, it's fucked up. Let us get up out of here, though.
Don't hold us up, though, my nigga.
Don't make me don't make me have to suffer for this bullshit. That's true. All right, man. What you got for on deck of the week?
Shout out to homie Robert Hayes, man. He said, "Hey, man, can y'all turn the volume up just a little bit more on the podcast? I can't hear y'all on my semi." So we got you, man. So we gonna up the volume up for you, big dog. You on the road checking us out. We appreciate that, Mr. Hayes. We got you, big dog. We're cranking the volume up for you one good time.
Facts. I apologize, Robert. I talk a little louder for you too, brother. Make sure I keep it. Get that podcast voice going for you. Thank you for listening.
Yeah.
Put on AB. What you got?
I
think we're gonna have the same put on this week.
Shit, mine gonna be a put off.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, that Idol. I watched the final episode, guys. If y'all are like, damn, I keep hearing about what the weekend got going on, just skip it. Don't even waste your 5 hours. I'm not saying the last episode was decent.
Now. You hating.
No, the last episode was decent.
Okay.
The last episode was decent. There's no need to watch the entire show. That's all I'm saying.
It was a good ass scene in that last episode.
Yes, it was.
That audition scene was fucking fire.
Yeah, that was cold. That was cold. And your boy, the Little Red Riding Hood story was cold.
That was cold.
That was cold. That writing didn't exist in no other episodes.
The accent still almost threw it off, but it was cold.
It was cold. But I'm telling you, just watch something else. That's all. Watch Hijack, bro. Just watch that shit.
Yeah, you just stole it. That was mine. If you want to watch something else, man, and we were just talking about plain stuff, Hijack, Idris Elba, Bodies. First 2 episodes, Bodies.
He like killing that though.
That shit was fire, nigga. Yeah. I was there for all of that. I'm hoping this goes with 10 episodes. I hope it ain't one of those 6 episode joints. But yeah, I'm fucking with this. Yeah. I like the premise. He's a hostage. Well, he's a negotiator for businesses, and the plane got hijacked. It's on Apple Plus. The first 2 episodes. The 3rd episode actually just dropped on today's Wednesday when y'all listen to this, or Tuesday. So yesterday, the 3rd episode just dropped. I'm gonna watch that right now. Yeah, check out that Hijack on Apple Plus, man. That shit fire.
That just made me real quick on BET Plus. I can't believe I'm saying this. BET Plus might got one. Yeah, y'all gotta check out that Average Joe. I'm hot about, though. The Average Joe.
It ain't on nothing else. I'm hot about that.
It ain't what?
I thought it would. I thought it would at least be on, because sometimes BET Plus put their shit on Amazon Prime.
Oh yeah.
Or like the Miss Pat show, it's on demand.
Yep.
They making you sign up for that BET Plus for the BET.
That's petty.
You got BET Plus?
My wife do.
That's crazy.
That was the first thing my homeboy said. I told him the show was kind of fire. He said, "Hey fam, why you got BET Plus though?"
that I was wondering the same thing. I just hadn't asked you yet. I was like, bro, how did you even come across having BET Plus? And like, I'm not even saying that because I want to support black business, but they like overly priced though. I think it's like $15.99 or something.
That ain't no fucking way.
I promise you, bro. Because like you see it, it's like $4.99. You're like, okay, I'll sign up for this.
It's $5.99, bro.
No, it's not.
I promise. I'm looking at the name.
So I would sign up for $5.99, but it was way higher than that when the Miss Pat show first came out.
Oh yeah.
It was like they wanted like $12 or $13.
Oh no,
hell no, nigga! I ain't watching these Tyler Perry shows on here.
No,
one thing I want to see, nigga.
They got one with this one. That's Average Joe. I watched 3 episodes. So far it's good. It's kind of like Ozark Light. It's Ozark Light. It's pretty good,
I like
man.
Deion Cole too. So
with Deion Cole, and I didn't know if he could pull it off because that nigga funny. And he's silly and kind of goofy and shit, but he playing a serious role pretty well. But there's still some comedy in there, just not slapstick and goofy. But it's dark, but there's a little bit of comedy. You're gonna laugh a little bit. It's actually pretty good, man. I'm checking. Y'all check for that Average Joe on BET Plus, man. Get that free trial though.
That's crazy.
Shout out to Tyler Perry though.
Yeah, I need that free trial. It's a Tyler Perry production.
No, I'm just saying BET. If it was a Tyler Perry production, I wouldn't be recommending it, even though that's my guy.
I was gonna say, never mind, I'm out. I don't even care what the first 3 episodes look like, bro. I'm out. It don't matter. I know it ain't gonna end well.
If it was Tyler Perry presents Average Joe, I wouldn't even hit play on it. With all due respect to T Peasy.
Yeah, shout out to Tyler Perry for buying BET, man.
For sure, man. Hey, it's another episode in the books, guys. Hey, I have a safe 4th, even though it'll be over with by now. If you still got fireworks left, man, be careful with that. You don't want no Jason Paul Pierre or whatever the fuck his name was. You don't want no one of them situations. Or no Terry situations. Y'all be careful out there. Anything else before we get out of here?
Go reverse, Terry. Go in reverse. Nah, we have.
That's gonna be funny
appreciate you
forever,
guys,
bro.
Forever in a day. 100%. Happy 4th of July off day for the black people out there that don't celebrate it. We love y'all.
Yes, sir. We out.